Athletics draft analyst Sam Vecini attended Bronny James Summer League games in Vegas, then broke down the game tape of the 150 minutes Bronny played in 6 games. Vecini saw flashes on offense, but was most disappointed in Bronny's defense, which, of course, Jake Rob Blinkus say will be Bronny's strong suit. Vecini's conclusion was that Bronny ultimately looked like a player who wasn't quite ready for the Summer League level, but acknowledged that Bronny will be in great hands with the Lakers, starting with his father's. So, Rachel, agree with any of this?
I mean, I agree that he didn't have some spectacular, dazzling summer league, but we've had all kinds of guys who don't have spectacular, dazzling summer leagues who go on to be at a great level in the NBA, and we're just going to have to see what his level is, right? I do think that being a 3-and-D guy is probably his best shot to make an impact in the NBA. I think that a lot of things have to improve, both the 3 and the D part of that equation, right? So on the 3 side, he doesn't hit his threes right now. I mean, he's not the shooter that you'd want him to be to eventually walk that path. However, we have seen plenty of players from Jason Kidd to Bronny's own father, LeBron, significantly change their shot over the course of their careers. He's going to get great coaching. You know, he hasn't had, because his college career was cut short and he only left after 1 year and different things, he switched high schools. He hasn't had the consistent kind of coaching that he will get with this Lakers franchise, and I think that will definitely help him as he goes. He definitely has touch. When you see his shot, he's got a little touch there, and he just has to develop his body position, his mechanics better. So I think that will improve. But the defense side is going to have to improve too. That I do agree with the writer there on that. But I also think that is capable and a work in progress. He just looked a little gun-shy at times to me defensively. He was ball watching a few times. And just sort of, I think the moment and the entirety of what happened at Summer League, it was a big deal for a player like that who, again, hasn't had a ton of big game experience. And all of a sudden, every time he touches the ball, the crowd yells, people chanting his name. There's a lot of expectations, the media asking him after every game, how come you didn't do this? How come you didn't do that? I think when that affects your confidence, you play not as good defense. And I think that's why it's so important that Bronny ended those last 2 games on such a high, and they didn't play him for the game after that to sort of maintain that high, because now he has confidence in a way he didn't during those early Summer League games. And now you can build on that.
I agree with Vecini. What do you say?
Vecini.
Vecini. I agree with Vecini on most of the things that he said. I kind of read through his piece, and he talked about something that I talked about, Skip, which is his shooting. Slow.
Yeah,
right?
You did.
I mentioned, I said, when those dudes in the NBA close out on him, he's in trouble. His dad's shot is slow compared to other shooters. But his dad is 6'8" or whatever, 6'9". So there's Paul Pierce had a slower shot, but Paul Pierce is 6'8". So it's a little bit different.
Sometimes I think he's 6'9".
Yeah, he might be 6'9". He may be 6'9". But when I looked at that, I'm sitting there saying, when I'm watching clips, and I'm not a basketball scout, but I'm not blind either.
Not blind.
And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, Rachel, he's got a nice stroke, but it's a little slow.
His loading the shot is what's slow for him right now.
That's slow.
But that's fixable.
It may be fixable. It may be fixable. We've seen it be fixed with other people, but when you're going up against, so you talk about the defensive side of the equation, yeah, slightly under 6'2", a little bit over 6 feet, 6'1" and some change. And I'm not talking about frontline guys, right? I'm not talking about having Jalen Brunson or guarding Kyrie or any of these top-line guards. I'm talking about the backups, where he's going to be in the rotation at. And I'm just looking at the size difference. All of a sudden, you're switching off on a 6'6" dude or a 6'7" guy that you get caught in. When he was out on the court in the Summer League, he looked at times like a defensive liability. With growth. He just looked with growth. He can get better at it. But when you telling me he's a D&3 guy, this is what you told me. So I'm looking for that. Yeah. This is what you told me. And then out on the court, it's like, well, no, that's not it. His shots didn't, they were close. They just didn't go in, whatever that means. They just wouldn't stay in the rim. And then all of a sudden, he got, like you mentioned, those last 2 games, he kind of, he did some stuff on dribble handoffs, things like that. He was able to knock a couple shots down that made you go, okay, he may be able to do that. And I've been screaming and hollering, saying, I want to see him with Anthony Davis and his dad and everybody else because he will play better under that setting. And if he has to go stand in the corner and just wait for them to pass me the ball, only thing he has to do is knock down the shots. He is going to be a back-of-the-roster serviceable player into such due time that he grows into the game. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of teams, and not plenty, all teams in the NBA identify guys, and even in the NFL, they identify a guy that they say, he fits at what we want to try to do, when most people will say, that guy's not that good, but he may fit perfectly with that team, that organization, and the situation. And I think Bronny, he falls into that category. You know, if I had to grade him and give him a grade, I probably would give him a C. And the reason I would give him a C is because he failed the first two.
He did.
Right? He was failed. And then he got better. You know, then the grade got better as he got better. And so I would probably give him like a grade of a C, which is not a bad start for a guy that really, this is his first real opportunity. It's not like his second G League season or anything like that. No. So that's where it's at for me.
Well, he missed his first 15 three-point shots, and then he acknowledged, I'm in a little slump. Well, to his credit, the last two games we saw him, he started to come out of the slump. So Vecini's breakdown in The Athletic is worth reading. I recommend it because I thought it was smart and I thought it was fair. Because the tone is forgive me for nitpicking a 19-year-old who doesn't deserve me to nitpick as the 55th overall pick, but I can't kid glove him because he's the son of that guy. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what the tape tells me. And to his point, I mentioned to you a couple times, man, I don't see the urgency on the defensive end that I thought I would see. I see the ability. He's got long arms, and his body is going to be good. It's going to be NBA quality physique.
He's going to get stronger.
He's going to get stronger. And highly capable at 6'1.5" of being what J.J. Redick says he can be, somebody who can be a defensive dog and just get up into you. And J.J. said that he told him in Summer League, just get up into people, and if you get blown by, it's on me. But I want you up in them. And there were times I didn't see that kind of urgency and that kind of tenacity from him that I thought that's his calling card. So I thought, well, we'll see that right away. Didn't see it yet. Not saying that we won't, but I do think he was overwhelmed at times by being in an arena where they're chanting for him, and he's the 55th pick, and he's going up against. Listen, I watched the championship game the other night, and Miami has players who have been around for a long time, and I'm saying, well, this is not fair.
Well, that's why I say this is not his. This is his first Summer League, not his third Summer League.
Yeah, exactly.
He may never see another Summer League, by the way.
Well, I'm going to say he won't see another Summer League.
I mean, plenty of guys don't come back for the second year. I mean, you said I was sold a 3-and-D guy. Nobody sold him as he is currently a 3-and-D guy. The sell was he's the number 55 pick. He is a development project. The Lakers have said that over and over again, and they hope to develop him into a 3-and-D guy because right now that is what looks like his best path to success. He currently does not have the handles. He does not have the ball handling instincts to be a point guard, which is probably what his body type is most suited for. So they are trying to develop him in the ways that they think that he has the best shot to be a valuable NBA player, and it's not there yet. And we talk about the shot coming. The defense also is going to come. I mean, that is something that J.J. talked about, point of attack defense with him.
Yeah.
He hasn't really been asked to do that in the same way as he's going to be asked to with this Lakers organization. So I've said it a bunch on this show. Last year's 55 pick, the previous year to Bronny, played 4 total minutes in the NBA. 4 minutes total, not 4 minutes a game. 4 minutes total.
I understand.
You have to think of him in that same way. He's a developmental project.
I'm sorry, because I can't. I can't think of him as a 55th pick. I just can't. And the reason is, it's because he ain't the 55th pick. He's LeBron James' damn son. And that 55th pick gets pushed out the door.
And by the way, you're on record. If they took him at 17, you're going to be okay with that.
I'm fine. If they took him at 17, I'm fine. Wow. If they wouldn't have drafted him at all, I'm fine. Because he was going to play for the Lakers, and he was going to play for LeBron James, regardless. Play for LeBron James. Play for the Lakers, and play with LeBron James.
Yep.
correct that before somebody says.
Someone will get there.
Somebody's going to get there. But I can't look at him as a 55th pick. I just got to look at him as LeBron's son. He's on a team with his father. He's going to be around other superstar players. When you're around great players,